Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me I have the all-new 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV. So we'll look at the interior, some of the stuff on the outside, and then go for a spin around and see what we think of this Blazer EV. So now we're behind the wheel of the 24 Blazer EV. So this is going to be the RS trim. So there's about 4 different trim levels. The RS is the second highest under the SS trim. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. So we'll kind of cover what we can, but let's go for a spin around. So if you've never driven an EV vehicle, there's not a huge learning curve to it. Everything is very familiar once you're on the inside. I mean, you just drop it into drive and you're off and running. Obviously there's no transmission and there's no kind of shifting or anything like that, so it's very smooth and it's very quiet when you're out on the road, which is a really cool feature that the EVs offer. You don't get the noise up front, you get a little bit of a hum from the electric motor, and if you really put your foot down, it kind of makes a pretty cool noise in here. So let's start with the interior on this one. Now this RS has the adrenaline red over black interior. It looks killer. It is so cool in here. The red looks great. It kind of goes in the dash, into the seats, into the back of the vehicle. It looks really cool, and it's probably the way I would option one. But let's merge out onto the road here. So this is a 50-mile-an-hour zone. So if we put our foot down, that's 50 miles an hour. It is impressive how quick these EVs are. The coolest thing is there's instant torque. There's no need to rev it up and get going. When you put your foot down, you're off and moving. So this one does have the heads-up display as well. So I can see the miles per hour up there. If I set my adaptive cruise control, which this one also features, there's a lot of really good stuff and safety built into these, whether it's the lane departure warning or the blind spot monitoring or the cross traffic. There's a lot of cool stuff to help keep you and your family safe when you're out on the open road. But on the road, this vehicle is fun to drive. The cool other thing about EVs is that battery weight gives it kind of a low center of gravity, so it drives kind of like a big go-kart. There's a lot of weight down low, and that keeps it so you could really kind of throw it into the corners, and it's a lot of fun to drive. And with that instant torque and power, this has more than enough to get you going. And one of the coolest things about this thing is that it's offered in front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or an all-wheel drive. So this is the all-wheel drive, which would probably be the way I would opt for one with the Minnesota winters. But how cool is that? You can select between front, rear, or the all-wheel drive, which I don't know if I've ever even heard of that before. So again, on the interior with this adrenaline red, the front driver and passenger are going to be heated as well as ventilated, and then in the second row, those are going to be heated seats. So if you've got the kids back there, or you can actually fit 5 adults into an EV vehicle, because you don't get the traditional transmission tunnel that runs through, so you don't get that hump in the middle, so people can actually fit back there and be comfortable for maybe a trip out to dinner, or if you're going on a road trip. There's a decent amount of room in the back, plus the seats fold down so you get a little bit extra cargo space. But like I said, it's not really much different than a standard vehicle, except for you're not going to the gas pump and spending maybe, I don't know if it's $70 to $100 to fill a larger SUV up. I mean, this is definitely going to help you out, and the charge times are pretty quick. So if you're rapid charging, or if you're using a level 1 or level 2 at home, this will charge decently quick, and the total range in this model with the all-wheel drive is going to be 279 miles. Now the longest range mileage would be 320. So the RS unlocks a little bit more range than you can have in the 2 lower trim levels, but I think this is kind of the sweet spot for the Blazer EV. A ton of equipment here. I think the styling on the exterior is killer. Those headlights look so cool when you walk up to the vehicle, or when you plug the vehicle in to charge it. It also lights up the lights and it kind of does a cool dance. And the styling isn't so outlandish. Some of the EV vehicles look just crazy, and maybe that's too much for someone. This one just looks like an SUV with a little bit of updated or modern styling. So the 17.7-inch display is great. There's maps that will be built in there. You can use the Google Assistant or Google Play Store. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. And then you also have a digital display for your gauge cluster. So that would be your cruise control, or you can go through the different menus to see how your EV usage is going or your eco-friendly ways. And then Google Maps can also pull up in there, which is going to be a pretty cool feature. So overall, the Blazer EV, I think the styling on the exterior is great. And if you want a little bit more sportiness, you can go up to the SS model, or you can take some away with the lower trim levels. But I mean, I think it looks great on the outside. The inside, especially with this adrenaline red, looks so cool in here. So there's also a heated steering wheel, and it's got the red stitching that runs through here in the RS badging. I mean, there's a lot to like. Some of the trim in here also looks really cool. It's kind of a carbon fiber sort of a weave style that runs through the vehicle. And if you've got your phone with you, you can drop it on here, and that's gonna be a wireless charging pad. If it's you or if it's the family, I mean, it can kind of do it all. It's quick, it's fun to drive, yet it's got all this great technology. So I think if you're shopping for an EV, the Blazer EV is absolutely one you gotta add to the list. Come out, take it for a spin, see what you think. So that was just a quick test drive and look at the all-new 24 Blazer EV. Now, if you'd like more information or to schedule a test drive for yourself, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by Walser Polar Chevrolet. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks again for watching.